If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
You're not alone. 80% of those in the stock market, just like you, lose money. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Why do they lose? Because they don't know how to short stocks in a down market. That will change once you use my patent Pro 2 color-coded chart. It works. The technology works. And it not only gives you an edge on the upside, but Pro 2 will put a smile on your face on the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Want the truth when investing in the stock market? Here's how.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Listen to my radio show every day because that's where you're going to get the truth. You're not going to get the truth listening to these dopes on Fake Business News Network. The other day, Kramer said, don't listen to the banks. They're giving you wrong information. When he told you to buy Merrill Lynch, remember? And what happened? They went broke.
Get the truth at philsgang.com.
Join my gang, philsgang.com. Get the truth. And also listen to me on my podcast on YouTube and Rumble. That's philsgang.com.
You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy the stock. Then you have two people on the show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right. Follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals. You follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
I signed up, and I've learned an incredible amount from Phil and Steve. The staff at Phil's Gang gives platinum-level service and stock recommendations. It's as simple as that. At the end of a month or so, I've always been in the black. Phil's Gang is a class act. I'm happy to be a member.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, Any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy this stock. Then you have two people on their show. One guy saying buy it. The other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right. Follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals. You follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grande.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
That our system is breaking down and that we absolutely have a major problem in our economy today. And I'm not going to opine on whether or not you bail out a bank or something like that. But you can't have the country feeling that it doesn't matter if they save. It doesn't matter because they can spend all the money they want. You can do whatever you want because the government will bail you out. You can't have that.
And that's exactly what we have. And that's what happened. You know, Elizabeth Warren is asking for an investigation. This is unbelievable. Listen to this. An investigation. She wants to investigate Trump. She wants to investigate Trump that this is all his fault. What an idiot.
It's important that while we're examining what went wrong, that Chair Powell take a step back and let Michael Barr, who is the new vice chair.
Oh, I can't stand even listen to her. My hair goes on fire. So she's suggesting that this is all Trump's fault, that he took regulations and he eased them. I went over that yesterday. The regulations that he eased was bipartisan. 17 Republicans Democrats, and 35 or 25 Republicans all agreed it had to be done because these morons were putting on small banks regulations that were so costly. So, I mean, they're cumbersome. They're working, 20 hours a day on regulation instead of getting loans out the door because of her and the rest of them. And so it was a smart move. This wasn't where Trump signed an executive order. No, they won't tell you that. This is where the Republicans and Democrats identified there's a real problem with all those regulations. You can't keep regulating people. You're not going to get any productivity done. And the proof was that he was right in doing it, both the Republicans and the Democrats, because it turned out that under Trump, when he had to face COVID, which is interesting. When he's the first one that got hit by COVID in 2020. But the difference was when he finished in 2020 and then he turned over the Oval Office to Biden in 2021, not only did he clean up the mess, he left Biden with an economy that was growing at 6.5% because of these banks. The banks were out there helping the community, helping small businesses, helping entrepreneurs. Instead of the banker sitting there 20 hours a week or 20 hours a month, whatever, filling out regulation forms. Biden comes in, and what happened? Within a year, the 6.5% is gone. The 6.5% is gone. No growth. 1%. Actually, it was less than 1%. And the inflation was just 1.4%, turned into 8.6%. So where's the proof that this is his fault? Because he deregulated these banks, and he didn't deregulate the banks, like get rid of all the regulations. As a business person, Trump identified with other business people who were in Congress, both Democrat and Republican. This was ridiculous. And the proof was in our economic growth. So now she's going to come in and she's trying to blame him for changing these, making these tweaks that were just so stupid. It's just these people make me sick. They really do. They're the ones to blame. For God's sakes, anybody could see it. Look when Yellen lied to us in 2015. She gets in there in 2015, and now she's the new head of the Federal Reserve. And the first thing she does, she starts raising rates 5 times between 2015 and 2017. 2015, 2017. Why did she raise rates? Why would she do that? Because she thought she saw what was coming. Terrible inflation. Terrible inflation was coming. And then Powell in 2000, we talked about this yesterday. Powell in 2018, he saw terrible inflation coming. So then he turned around, he raised rates 4 times. But then remember what happened in 2019. He said, I got to cut these regulations. Everybody wanted him to cut regulations. I mean, they cut regulations, cut rates. They wanted him to cut rates again. Because why? Because the CEOs wanted free money. The CEOs wanted, they're so used to this free money where they could go in, their company wasn't making any profits, these tech companies, they could just go in with this free money and take the outstanding shares. And if you had 5 million shares outstanding, all they had to do is reduce those shares to force artificially earnings to go up that you don't have, and for the stock market, for your stock price to go up that you didn't have. So they were rigging the markets with 0 rates. The CEO was getting rich off of it because he had options. So if there was 5 million shares outstanding and the company had especially the banks, but let's just take the regular company. They had 5 million shares outstanding, and the company was losing $1 million. Well, they fixed that pretty quick. All they did is they went in and said, hey, to the Fed, hey, give me some of that free money. I need some more free money. And he goes in and he reduces his 5 million shares. He drops it down to 3 million shares. Now that 1 million lost, are you kidding me? It's gone, because by reducing from 5 million outstanding shares that you can buy and sell to 3 million shares you can buy and sell, all of a sudden now earnings artificially went up. And let's say your stock price was at $10 when you were making, so you had $1 million bottom line or lose $1 million bottom line. So let's say you lost $1 million. And your shares were $10. So what would they do? So they just go in and they get the money from the Fed. It was free. And they go in and reduce the number of shares outstanding. So let's say they had 5 million shares outstanding. They go and they reduce it by 2 million. Then all of a sudden that loss, earnings went up artificially, and that loss from net 1 million loss turned into a 3 million profit. And the stock shares went from $10 up to $15. All phony. It was all fake. That's what they were doing since 2008 to 2020. That's how the tech stocks went up 1,200%. And the CEOs didn't care if they're overpaying for the stock. I talked about this yesterday. What did they care? They didn't mind paying $19 for every $1 of earnings when they should have been only paying $10 or $15 because they knew somebody else would do the same thing because they had all this free money, all this speculation. So that's what caused all this. All that speculation for 13 years, the stock market going up, all this money in the system. Where did they get the money? They printed it. That's inflation. This had nothing to do with regulations. I'll tell you the rest when I get back. This is unbelievable.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
Philsgang.com. What, are you nuts? Coffee's up 92%. Lumber's up 67%. Heating oil, what, 60%? Gasoline, 55%. I understand why you guys are telling me to raise my rates here at Phil's Gang, but we haven't raised our rates since 2001. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I'm not going to raise my rates. Our membership's been $39.95 since 2001, and for a good reason. So that you have enough room that when you do make money here at Phil's Gang, and you will, because you're going to learn how to short stocks, that there's enough room to send some money to St. Jude. That's why we never raised our price. And that's why we give you good value. So, you want to continue with good value, good information, be on the right side of the market? Join my gang, philsgang.com, where the price has not moved, where we fight inflation. philsgang.com.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, if you really want to make sense of this market, you can't be listening to the fake Business News Network. They will not tell you the truth. They're to get you excited, to make sure you go out and you're happy so you'll buy something. That's not what we do here at Phil's Gang. We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here. And it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Warning. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60, 70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. Tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days. philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member. and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Early this morning, I said to my gang, I sent them an alert, and what I said to them was this. Well, for some reason, the Qs don't break below 285. Okay, now when I talk about 285, I'm pointing to the March 13th candlesticks. Got to break below that. If we can't break that, then they're going to take this, they're going to try to turn this market positive, and they'll at least wipe out half of the losses. And they did. So this is very important to understand why I said that. The market was down over 700 points. The market now, wiped out half of it because they never took out the Qs. If you look on your chart on the Qs, if you look at the low on March 13th, they had to take that low out today. But what were they doing all day? They're rigging the market all day long, the Federal Reserve, and Yellen from Treasury, printing money, buying treasuries, to make sure they could keep pushing the yield down. Because remember, our yield was at 4.09. And they pushed that was, I think on Monday, but they pushed it down to right now where it's at 3, what is it right now? It's about 3.5. So by pushing that yield down from 4 to 5, just round it off, 4 to 5, pushing that down artificially, they can make sure the tech stocks don't sell off anymore because they don't want the tech stocks to take out the October low because they do. This market is going to be worse than 2008. And they know that, and they're sweating it out. And nobody's talking about it. But I said that to my gang first thing this morning. I said, you watch. They're not going to allow us to take out the Qs that low on the 13th, and then you'll see a rally come the next day. You'll see tomorrow morning, you watch, you'll say implied open. Go look at your bond market. You'll say implied, every morning they got implied open up 65, implied open up 35. After the market's been down 10,000 points, to go next morning, implied open 35. Their favorite number, 35 to 65. So that's probably what's going to happen tomorrow. They're going to do everything they can to get a rally here, a big rally. They're going to come up with some story. They're going to come up with some nonsense that they're going to go back to QE. They're going to come up with something. It's not going to work. Let me tell you where this stands. She is an idiot, Elizabeth Warren. The reason we are in this mess is because when Biden took over, he had a 6.5% growing economy. There was hardly any inflation. When he came in and decided to go with the new green energy and cut off 72% of our energy exploration, that was so destructive. That was so inflationary. Gasoline went up 500%. You know the story. Meat went up. Eggs went up. Everything went up. That was him. And inflation is so destructive. There's nothing worse than inflation. You got to be a born idiot to allow inflation in your country?
That our system is breaking down, and that we absolutely have a major problem in our economy today. And I'm not going to opine on whether or not you bail out a bank or something like that.
But where's that coming from? What's Carl talking about? He's talking about inflation. This is why we're in such a mess. Hear what he talked about inflation the other day.
Inflation is the worst thing an economy can have, and I think people underrate that.
That's right. People don't have it. Because why? Because Yellen came out and lied and said it was transitory. Powell said it was transitory. While they're lying to us saying it was this was a huge deal going. It was like an atomic bomb was growing, okay? I mean, this was insane what was going on. And did they do anything? No. So what happens? So Biden, remember the big difference. Trump, when COVID hit, when he printed money and borrowed money, it was productive money. He grew the economy. When Biden gets into office, what does he do? Like all other socialists, okay? He wanted to make sure AOC and Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and all the socialists, all the Marxists in the Democratic Party were happy. So what he does, he prints this money, borrows money, and it's helicopter money. There goes the problem. So when he turns around and all of a sudden he cut the 72% of our production, and then he turns around and he decides, okay, I'm going to now just do all these crazy programs. I mean, look at the programs he did. Are you kidding? I mean, the American Rescue Plan, the Child Tax Credit Plan, the Budget Plan, the Americans and Family Plan, all these crazy programs that were helicopter programs that didn't produce an economy to grow. There was no growth. He wiped out the growth. What a great, and then Pelosi comes on. He was the greatest president we ever had. Are you nuts? Once you get inflation in your economy, you can't get it out. You can't get it out. It's so hard. The consequences of inflation, it's so destructive. So destructive. It's so detrimental to economic growth. You can't grow. Wages stop going up. You can't cut rates anymore. And the only reason those tech stocks were going up 13 years in a row, 1,200%, because they could cut rates to zero. Zero, which was stupid. That was all inflationary. So you had Trump, whether you hate him or not, the money he printed and the money he borrowed was productive. And you can hate him all you want. You can. I don't like how he texts. Well, did you like the 6.5% growth in the economy? Or do you like what we are now, 1%? So we are in a real bad spot. Real bad spot. And that's why I'm telling all of you, look at that. The key is the Qs. There's the key. There's the Qs right there. Go look at the Qs. And if they don't take out that, if they take that low out, we're going to go down probably another 60% in this market. And it's
Want
almost
more
100%
information on
we
this
are.
show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
philsgang.com.
You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy the stock. Then you have two people on the show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right. Follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals. You follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. Banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Hey, good afternoon, gang. It's Steve Celeste here with philsgang.com. Just wanted to tell you how to get engaged with Phil's Gang and how to become part of the Phil's Gang membership, or how to try us for 10 days free. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's www.philsgang.com, and click on Get Started at the top of the website. Click on the big red banner that says Working Investor 10-day free trial, and that's all you got to do. And hey, while you're at the website, why not stop by our gift shop, see if there's something in there for you or for somebody you know. All right, thanks, and back to you, Phil.
Okay. Steve, on February 28th, he came in my office because the same day, I told our members, let's short XLF and the big banks, because I said they're going to go down huge. And that was on February 28th. And we were right. And we made our short. We did really well. On average, we probably picked up about 16, 17% on those stocks. But he said, let's go and short all the regional banks. They're really going to get slaughtered. And he had a good reason why. Because what the regional banks were doing, remember when Biden started out, and Biden killed our economy from a 6% GDP growth to 1%, and then when we had this tremendous inflation he created, unbelievable inflation, 500% on gasoline alone, when Powell started to fight that inflation to raise short-term Fed rates, it was a given. It was over for the banks, especially the little smaller regional banks. And so the banks couldn't make money because the mortgages on homes were like at 2% for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, 2.5%. So they went in and they bought, as you know, all these bonds, but they bought them at around 2%. Now, here's where you got to ask yourself, well, wait a minute. Why would they buy these bonds at 2%, the 10-year bonds at 2%, when they know that inflation was going to go up? That not only inflation, but they also knew to fight inflation, they started to raise rates in 2015. Between 2015 and 2018, they raised rates eight times. So the banks knew that by buying these bonds to make a profit because of the inflation created by Biden, they didn't know that Powell was going to fight inflation by raising the short-term Fed rate? Of course they knew. They all knew. But they didn't care. Because we'll get bailed out. So now they start losing all kinds of money when it went from 0, the short-term Fed rate, to 1%, then another quarter. All of a sudden they're at 4%, and the banks are down $600 billion in losses. Are you telling me that's Trump's fault? Warren? Are you kidding me? You're the big shot in Washington. You're on that committee overseeing the banks. You didn't know? You went to Harvard. You taught at Harvard. Aunt B, she went to Columbia. She went to Oxford. She went to every college in the world. She didn't figure out either when she's at the Treasury Department, for God's sakes. And she didn't say, wait a minute, boy, we got to be a little careful here. Wait a minute. We got a problem. Biden's programs, full of inflation, going to destroy our economy. And to fight inflation, I as the Treasury, is going to tell Powell, you got to start raising the short-term Fed rates from 0 to 4.7%. Didn't she sit there and go, wow, all these banks are going to get slaughtered, especially the small regional banks? Now, remember when she started to raise rates? She started to raise rates in 2015, 2016, 2017, Powell, 2018. Not one person in the Federal Reserve, not Elizabeth Warren, not Powell, not Aunt B. No one said we got to watch our butts. First of all, we're destroying our country with this inflation, which is the worst thing you can do to a country. Look at Venezuela. Look at Argentina. Look at Cuba. Worst thing you can do. Now what we're doing is we're destroying all the banks. Well, guess why they're doing that? They weren't being... It was part of their plan, the same thing they did in 2008. Because the banks that the government owns, the biggest 5 banks, those aren't privately owned banks. They're owned and regulated by the government. You don't know it. We'll never find proof of it, but of course they're owned by the government. How do you think they grow? How do you think Intel grew? How do you think Cisco grew? Through acquisitions. That's how Cisco was, remember, buying 5, 10 companies a day. Well, that's how the big banks got bigger, too big to fail, because the government would set up the small banks like they're doing now, destroy them, and then let the big banks go in, and Jamie Dimon will be on the front cover of Time magazine. Smart idea, Jamie Dimon bought 7 regional banks. Boy, was he a genius. They're setting him up for a slaughter. Someone's got to convince me if I'm wrong. You got to convince me. Well, wait a minute. What do you mean they're not setting him up for slaughter? If they started to raise rates in 2015 to 2020, rates are going up, and every time rates went up, the banks were losing money, $600 billion. Nobody thought to check that. They were setting them up for slaughter. And that's why I told my members today, don't get sidetracked. Keep shorting these banks. We're going to have some rallies in between, but they're going to get crushed. The other day, KRE, the ETF, right? They rallied it from $41.82 up to $49. And everybody was saying on CNBC and all this care, buying a dip, buying a dip, buying a dip. Right? Are you nuts? I told my members, don't you dare buy these banks. Stay the course. My Pro 2 color-coded chart is solid red. The trend is solid red. It will never let you down. And it came from 49.31. It dropped all the way back down to 42. It's a sucker's play. If you're in there buying these banks the other day, take J.P. Morgan. We started short J.P. Morgan. We were doing good on J.P. Morgan. Then all of a sudden the other day, they ran J.P. Morgan up from 127.82. They shot it right back to 135, telling her, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the banks on the dip. Well, guess what? Everybody bought on the dip. Not my members. My members are taking profits. Guess what happened? J.P. Morgan dropped from $135.38, where it is today, $127, all the way back down. This is a game. And who knew about the game? Who knew? Elizabeth Warren, Powell, Biden, the whole crew. This was done on purpose. I mean, inflation was done on purpose. You don't think for one moment when Biden took over and they saw that the GDP was at 6.5%, and inflation was 1.4%, who in their right mind would destroy that? Who in their right mind in 1 year would take 6.5% GDP growth and turn it around to 0.9? Who in their right mind would do that? It was set up. Because why? Because the rich get richer on inflation. And the government, guess what? The more money they owe China, the more inflation reduces the debt to China. This is a setup. And if you know what the hell you're doing, you make money in the stock market.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
and we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
Phil Grandy has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
Are you a stock market investor without all the information?
What are you, nuts? Market's going up, market's going down. We're getting all this bad information.
How do you invest intelligently? Phil Grandy can show you.
If you want real information and you really want to know what the market's going to do and you want the truth, go to my site, philsgang.com, and also listen to me on my radio show every weekday at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
That's philsgang.com, where you get the truth and you get the information you need about the market.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, just listen to Phil Grandy.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. There's many reasons to listen to a radio show, but I think to listen to my show, you get the truth, you get clarity, and you get great information.
No matter what level of investor you are, Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success.
You know what? Most of all, it's fun. philsgang.com. Clarity, good information, and fun.
Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
You know, listen to this. Listen to this here. Unbelievable.
Well, I think it's a massive crisis. I don't think that you can understate the danger that the American banking system is in.
That's right. He knows what he's talking about. That's why I keep telling my gang today. Don't lose sight. Stay cool. Keep taking profits on these banks. We started to short in February. We started to short these banks before anybody did. Okay? Stay cool. Keep taking profits. Set up your stops. Stay with these banks because you're going to see it crash like you never saw. Why do you think today the NASDAQ, look at the Qs. The Qs didn't budge all day. All day long, they kept the Qs away from the 200-day and 50-day moving average at $290.60. They kept it just above at $297. How'd they do that? Keep pushing down the yields. Keep pushing. They kept buying treasuries all day long, buying treasuries, push down those yields to push those tech stocks up and away from those moving averages. Because I'm telling this is free. When that breaks, when the Qs break through 285, you better have a helmet on. and you better be short like we are, okay? Because that's what's holding the whole market together. It's like duct tape. It's like duct tape. The Qs is the duct tape of the market. If that duct tape breaks, and what did I say today? I said, if that thing go down through there, I told my members, then we will. Then when we were down, we were down about 700 points. I said, if they don't break through there, you watch. That 700 points, they're going to break. We're going to lose half of that 700 points. We'll be down about 385 instead of 700. What happened? We're down 385 instead of 700. I know what they're doing. You know, that's one thing. You know, I've been around so long. I've been through the 70s crashes. I've been through the 80 crashes. I've been through 1987 crash. I've been through all of them, right up to the last one, 2022. No, it's not experience. It's just being an old fart. And you've been around so long. Okay, you've seen it all. I saw what they did with all these little banks. Okay, all these regional banks back in 2008, 2009. Jamie Dimon all out there scooping them up. Who gave them the money to scoop up? The Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve printed it and gave it to all the big banks. That's why they're too big to fail, because they're not owned by people. Oh, it looks that way. Yeah, they covered it up. They're shareholders. It looks like they're independent. No, they're not. They're government-owned banks. And they're going and their enemy is these little independents, these little independent regional banks. They got to control them to control the people. They got to control them to control the people. Who am I talking about? The richest people in this country. They own everything. I mean, George Carlin says it all.
You have owners. They own you. They own everything.
That's right. They own everything, and they want to control prices. They want to control everything, but they can't let these little independent banks out there, these regional banks, be out on their own. They got to get rid of them, and that's how the big banks are going to get bigger and bigger. So you make money in the market when you know this. You know, the great thing about Phil's gang, when you join the gang, my job, okay, is make sure you understand the stock market. You understand what makes the stock go up. How's the bond market make stocks go up and down? Why do you look at the bond yield every day when the market's trading? See, 99% of people have no idea why a stock is going up or down. They have no idea. Jim Cramer tells them buy a stock, they just buy it. They think Jim Cramer knows everything. He just buy it, right? You got to learn. And inflation, 99.999% of people have no idea how disastrous inflation is. How inflation had destroyed countries, destroyed Rome, destroyed Venezuela, destroyed what's the other one? Argentina, destroyed. The worst thing is to have the kind of inflation we have. And who benefits? The very, very wealthy. And who are they? The guys you got in Congress, the big banks on Wall Street, the hedge funds on Wall Street. Are you kidding me? They want to see these small banks get destroyed so they get rich. They get rich. So we've been making on gold. We're going to make a ton more money on gold, okay? But right now what we're doing with gold, because they're taking money, they're taking the interest income from the 10-year treasuries that the Federal Reserve has on their balance sheet. I don't know the real number, but let's say $150 million a month. And then today they go and buy treasuries with that interest income. They go buy treasuries. That push the yields down to make sure that the Qs don't break. Look at the Qs. Go to the Qs. Look at the Qs since February 22nd. They've been going sideways since February. While the banks are collapsing. Right? They're holding the Qs up for dear, because what do the Qs need? They need low interest rates. They only go up if interest rates are low. But interest rates aren't low. Interest rates are going to go up even more. Interest rates went from zero. When interest rates were going from zero, the short-term Fed rates from 0 to 4.75, that was killing. This tech market dropped 38%. It's been 66 weeks. And they still haven't clawed back their 38% loss. Remember the loss they had in 2018? A 22% loss after 16 weeks, went down 22%. 22%. And they got that loss back right away. Boom. 16 weeks, they got it back, and they made another 54% gain. And in 2020, they lost 38% in 5 days. 5 days later, they had all those losses back and made another 120%. Our last crash in November 2020, we went down 38%. We're over 68 weeks now, and we still haven't gotten our money back. So what are they doing? They're making sure the Qs don't go down anymore. Because when they do break, they're going to break big. And that's why you want to be a Phil's Gang member, because we're going to be right there, just like the banks. Nobody was shorting the banks. Oh, buy banks, buy banks, buy banks, everybody said. I said, buy banks. I mean, think about what they did. When the Biden administration created this fantastic inflation, wiped out our 6.5% GDP growth, wiped out our 1.4% inflation, I mean, just think of the money these people were making. I mean, it was so rigged. But if you know what you're doing and you understand the market, you play the other side of it. You play the other side of it. Big tech stocks right now, I am telling you, okay, if you're jumping in buying these tech stocks and you think everybody's watching the tech stocks today, they're going up a little bit, right? Everybody thinks, oh, this is good. Tech stocks aren't going down anymore. They have no idea they're going to collapse. They have no idea why they're not going down right now. Why did the Qs hold all day long? Why did the Qs why did Microsoft and Apple, why are they holding? Why aren't they going down? Because they're being artificially held up by them going in and buying bonds. So we got a great opportunity to make a ton of money on the Qs, shorting them when the time's right, just like we made a ton of money for our members when we shorted the banks and nobody else was shorting the banks. Nobody else was shorting the banks. The other thing we did too, Steve and I talked about, we said, do you realize now that people are so panicked about the banks is they're going to cancel their vacations, they're going to cancel their flights, anybody's traveling, they're going to cancel their airlines, they're going to cancel cruise lines. I said, let's start shorting the hell out of the cruise lines. We did that the other day. I gave it to my members. Look what's going on with CCL. Look what's going on with the airlines. We're short those, and they're going straight down. Look at that, straight down. Because why? Because we understand how this game works. We understand how it works. When you do this for over 50 years, you start, it's pretty easy to figure out what the gangsters, their next move's going to be, because they're not that bright. But there's nobody to oversee them. There's nobody to arrest them. Who's going to arrest them? So why even be involved? Just make money. So go to my site tonight, philsgang.com, sign up for 10 days free, and you'll get my color-coded chart free for 10 days, and be on the right side of this instead of the wrong side all the time. Check it out, philsgang.com.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.